All right, this is for Rajiv Alvares. The first thing that I would tell you right off the bat is that you've got the right idea going on. You've got kind of two sunsets here. You've got the double cloud systems here. But what I would tell you to do, and all I've done here so far is just kind of separate this type of thing. And what I would tell you to do is you've got such a warm tonal value here that you probably want to contrast it a little bit with more your blues and things like that. So that's going to give you, your dark blues. And I'm just going to use a gradient here. And do you see how that automatically pushes the system a little bit better here as far as composition and lighting and flow? The second thing is kind of watch your uh, size and contrast here. It's very heavily balanced on one side, which is okay, but the problem with it is you've got a tangent kind of going on. I'm not defining the separation between this initial guy here and your I'll call it an oil rig for intent purposes. So you've got something going on there. So what I would tell you is let's bring this, and I would actually transform it bigger. And if you're gonna kind of put it over the rig like so, um, and I will go through and clean up this here. All right. So if you're trying to kind of all right. So if you're trying to you don't want that tangent going on. You want kind of its own separate entity. Even if it's overlapping, that's fine. And then with that, you've got this bright light going on there. And so let's put in some emphasis on this piece here, maybe even a little bit of that brightness. And so you can see how that wing really pushes out now. And we can go even darker and give more emphasis to this. So I would actually go into my contrast here. Let's go actually into your levels, and let's push and see, by pushing that forward a little bit darker, a little bit blacker, it really pushes out in that particular level. So that's something that you really want to pay attention to. I'm just going to kind of paint over this. And that emphasizes what you've got going on and still gives you kind of that overlapping flow. The other thing I would say is, because you've got these strong, and we're just going to add in that real strong dark to continue that tail. Because you've got that strong atmosphere here, this here should have a little bit stronger atmosphere as well. So just by adding in a little bit darker, you can see how that pushes everything just a hair forward, and like that. Now, the other thing is you've got this strong light source. And so the problem with your strong light source is you're thinking everything is kind of smooth and pretty. But you've got this strong light source here. And what I would do is, let's take some of this light source here and kind of really fade out this secondary concept. Okay? And you can even grab some of the darks here, and we're just going to lock this and like so. So you've got that strong concept now coming out. You can also fade it down a little bit. We can put in some more of the brights to kind of blend it in. But that's going to layer your effect a little bit more. And then these here, I would say you've got the right idea going on, but because they're all unified and pretty much the same thing, it feels a little bit repetitious. And what I would do is I would actually move something like this guy here like that. Let's go back here and clean up this and just kind of, and by doing this simple cleanup here, you are now getting a little bit more interesting concept, and things are overlapping a little bit more. And so what I would do also is, let's pull some of this. Let's go here and just pull some of that bright like that. Okay. And then that's going to kind of sell that a little bit more as well. Now, what are the other things I would do is I would, and let's just grab this brush here. I would grab this one, and because they're all the same, if you bring one with the wings down, and if you bring one with the wings down, you're getting a different type of scenery going on. And it cleans up a little bit of the repetition, and repetition is good, but if they're organic objects, the repetition kind of sells this like you just copied and pasted it. So having them in different poses, having them in different ideas, or different ways, that'll really sell your piece a little bit more. Okay, but those are some of the things that you can do. Now the other thing too is going here. You've got this strong light. Now decide what is reflective and decide what is not, because some of the strong light here can be really shown into that reflection, and so you can get a nice outline or a nice silhouette from that reflection like so. And then if you're getting some of this bright light from here, feel free to put in some of these highlights on the interior where the lights are the strongest. All right, and that's going to emphasize the shadows and things like that a little bit more. All right, and so that's probably what I would work on as far as contrast and things like that. I hope that helps.